Radio, taking it to the edge and back.
Hey, it's the Triple B Double D Heavyweight Podcast. We are doing something a little different today, considering the circumstances of the quarantine and the coronavirus. We are broadcasting live via conference. Everybody's in our respective homes, following the rules, the 6 feet apart. We're all, I think Gary and I are pretty close to each other, but Bubba's way far away. And where are you at, Indiana?
Yeah. I'm far away up north.
Well, let me just say one thing. This is definitely the best conference I've ever had.
Yeah,
I was on them all day, and they're not nearly as cool as this.
I've never had a conference call like this. I'm not high enough on the food chain to get a conference call. I'm good enough to get a broom to sweep.
You're selling yourself short, Bub. We are we're live, and we're bringing you the pre-WrestleMania show today. But I don't know how you guys holding up through this. This is
It's strange time.
The strangest thing that we've ever seen in our lifetime. I think the only thing even close to comparable to that we can recall is in 9/11. I mean, now this is like, it's crazy, and
It's not the Taliban. It's hair.
You know, sports have shut down. The closest thing to live entertainment in sports is even though I'm hating it right now, the no crowd wrestling is the only really live entertainment we're getting.
That's kind of why they're continuing to do it. I feel like they're going to gain some ratings because there's nothing else on. But at the same time, and I'm sure we'll get into this a little more, but at the same time, man, I can't get into it.
It's brutal. For the hardcore fans, it's brutal.
Yeah.
And then if you go on social media, you see like every DJ, comic, musician, they're all doing live streams. My question is, why aren't the strippers doing live streams? They could do like
it's because they won't make any money.
Well, you could do
won't make any money.
Cash App, Venmo, like you could donate while you could pay to their Venmo while they're dancing, and then
you want to see them right here in your face, Todd.
You get a virtual.
You want to see it right here. You don't want to.
Well, the thing of it
is, you can't handle that.
You could just go to a site online. And you see better stuff than just somebody,
But I'm shocked that they're not trying to take advantage of it. At least,
why don't you do it? You started the quarantine comedy, which is awesome, by the way. So maybe you should just start that.
I can show you guys. I'm not typically we're in the studio, and so right now the basement of the studio is a makeshift comedy club, and here I'll flip the camera. You can see the stage. There's the stage right in front of me.
Anybody that's listening to this hasn't checked it out. It's fun. It's fun.
Well,
just don't let your kids around.
The problem I think right now is, I think we were going to do every week through the quarantine, but safety issues. I can't. I'm scared. The studio. I'm scared to bring because the upstairs of the studio is the house.
Yeah.
And my family's here, and so.
Don't you feel like Snake Plissken, Todd? Like you feel like Snake Plissken, like people are coming to your house and they're like going over and underneath cars and getting there and they're like, oh yeah. And it's
the one guy was coughing in the street. I told him to turn around and go back home. I said, "Oh, don't even come in here."
Well, now they ask.
Why would he even do that?
As of today, they're asking everybody if they leave to wear a mask.
Yeah.
Initially, you were only supposed to wear it if you were sick. But now they're asking.
I'm going to wear my Russian destroyer mask to work.
I was thinking about wearing
the old Russian destroyer mask.
I was thinking about wearing one of the misses thongs over my face. That could.
If I wear one of Tammy's bras, I'm in trouble. I'm sleeping. I'll be definitely sleeping in a Triple B bar down here. Definitely.
I was just going to walk around with a thong over my face and just talk like Bay and be like, "Arr."
You want to buy, you want to go get us bread at the Walmart. You had bread, but I was born without it. We need toilet paper.
Yeah, I just wanted to. I do that for fun. I used to do that for fun. Just do laundry day or whatever. Just throw her thong on my face and just walk around like Bane. But I don't know. Now it's a little more serious, I guess.
Or after you washed it.
Well, after we'll keep it clean.
I'm not even in this one. I'm over here. I'm nowhere near that.
So, what are you guys doing? I know Bub and I are still out working. I mean, you're kind of stuck.
I'm working
in the house, working, right, Gary?
I'm working every day.
So I'm a little closer to the whole situation than, probably most people, because I work for healthcare. I do marketing for healthcare. So yeah, it's crazy. Just kind of let you in on some stuff. They're not even expecting this to peak until May.
Yeah.
So if it's not peaking till May, we got, quite a distance to go with this. So, but I'm losing my mind. I'm not a homebody.
Yeah.
I usually keep busy. This is just driving me nuts. I'd rather be with you guys. I'd rather be in your basement.
Oh, I miss the studio bad. It's there's nothing like going to the studio and doing this.
We'll get it soon enough. And
I know
that week that I was off, man. When my oldest came in from West Virginia, and the kids were just bouncing off the walls. Like they're making it. They make it rougher just because they have nothing to do. You can't just up and go anywhere. The highlight of the day is going to Walmart. Today, like now that I'm back to work, I'm getting out of the house. But I think the highlight of my day today was I was watching Bones and Donnie Iris was playing they were bowling and Donnie Iris was playing on the jukebox in the bowling alley. That was like the highlight of my day. That and I got Lysol at Dollar General.
Well, we've been we've been still doing some takeout stuff just for something to look forward to. You know what I mean? But usually I'm at the gym at 5 a.m. Well,
oh, this sucks for lifting, man. It's terrible.
That just killed the diet.
Yep.
It killed everything.
So what are you using for like takeout and stuff? Are you just going to get it or are you using the service?
There's a thing on Facebook. It's like quarantine thing, and people are posting stuff that are doing like pull-up services, and basically they pull it up, and they're wearing their gloves and whatever they need to wear. And
I've used Uber Eats. I've used Uber Eats, or we just go get it.
Yeah.
One of the big things I did.
Not much.
I've had a Star Wars marathon.
I did a Rocky marathon.
Oh, those are great. Those are probably some of my favorites.
Watched them all, and then I watched both Creeds.
And wow, you guys score the I haven't done anything but work.
Your life's pretty much.
What's even funnier? I actually read a book. That's what's crazy.
Wow.
That's insane.
What book did you read?
I actually was reading Old Republic stuff.
Revenant.
Oh, so
cool.
I read some comic books the other day.
Yeah. Well, for
with
you,
plastic gloves on.
I had the week off, like that whole week off. Gary's home. You're still doing your normal routine pretty much right now.
I'm working almost every day. I just want to get burned out. Like tomorrow is my weekend off. I'm working Saturday and Sunday first shift because it is WrestleMania and I don't give a rat's ass, even though it's not going to be whatever. It's still WrestleMania. I'm not working it. Fuck it. You know what I mean? Like I'm not snot and like I've been averaging some nice, but I'm working a lot of overtime. Like I try to work out.
There's nothing else to do. You must make money.
I got no lifting, no boxing. I didn't want to go to Vinnie Mac's gym. It was my sister's because I don't want to get anybody sick. I have to go. I went to my mom and dad's house and me and Tam, we're talking in the yard. You know what I mean? And it does a little suck, but I'm trying to stay focused because you know what? I'm the Tiger King and I piss excellence. That's what I'm going with now. That's what I'm going with now.
Have you binge watched that yet?
Yeah,
no, not yet. I'm watching. I'm watching.
Yeah, we watched
Pinky Blinders.
Pinky Blinders.
That's what I'm watching now.
I didn't like it, but I just got sucked into it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. It's one of those things like I've never seen such ridiculousness in my life. But
ridiculousness. That's what sells.
Yeah, that's true.
Are you still
and realistic? What's that, Todd?
Gary, are you still keeping up on Masked Singer?
No,
that's Gary and my show there, Bob.
They're all taped. So
yeah, I one time, and I
they're fun, man.
This is a good way to segue into the to the WrestleMania predictions. This is the WrestleMania predictions. I feel like we're like catching up, and we because we haven't seen each other in so long. But we are here for wrestling.
Right, a month or two ago, we were so excited. We were on the countdown to WrestleMania.
Yeah,
right?
this is our big time. We're going to do content every week, and we didn't even remember the last pay-per-view. It was Elimination Chamber. We don't even have the results of our
Thank you, coronavirus. Thank you very much. Thank you.
We don't even know who won. We don't know. We'll figure it out.
Back to the Masked Singer. The guy that was eliminated this week, if you didn't know, Gary, was the White Tiger, who is, by coincidence, or maybe not by coincidence, the host of WrestleMania, Rob Gronkowski.
What are they smoking? Seriously.
I don't know if this was a dream, a fantasy, or a rumor that I read on the internet, but I heard Big Ben's coming and he's going to hit him with a steel chair when he walks out, and then he won't host.
That would be the best highlight of the whole WrestleMania right there. As long as he don't mess his arm up, because I'll be so
he can't hurt his elbow. But yeah, Gronk is, I don't know. Did you see him on the SmackDown? I can't watch the full episodes of anything. And AEW's doing bringing the free agents over, and they're doing really cool things. And I feel like those guys got cheated because of the no crowd thing.
I agree, but I tell you what, out of the two, I feel that AEW is actually doing it better for whatever reason.
It's better.
Yeah,
it doesn't feel like it's empty.
It's the out of the box thinking over there, and
you know why it doesn't feel empty, Mav and Todd? Because those guys are putting more into it in the ring. It looks real. It's not
match after match
after
match.
It just looks real.
We're not watching the Royal Rumble over again.
Yeah,
I hate when they do that. I don't need an hour to watch the Royal Rumble again.
To see what happened last year's Mania, and
they have one match. They have 2 or 3 promos throughout Raw or SmackDown, and then they replay stuff. And
it's a filler. It's all filler.
Yeah, because they don't have the staff. The staff's not there to do it. But
here's the thing.
I'm doing highlights.
We all agree that it's so freaking weird and bizarre on both ends, whether it's AEW or Raw. But at the same note, we have to commend them for continuing.
Right.
You may or may not agree with me. Some people will say they just need to shut it down. But let's face it. I mean, we need something to look forward to.
I think they have to go through Mania and then maybe cut it.
Yeah.
Because it's not going to work. It's not working with the no crowd and things like that. You all right over there, Bob?
Yeah, I just want to say, don't call me during this, jackasses. I'm getting phone calls.
That's all right.
Unreal.
This is what it is.
Well, thanks, Mav, but
this is what it is.
I got to mess everything up,
No, you're good. Everything's good. I saw you over there, but yeah, I think with the no crowd
decline button.
For us,
I thought you farted. To be honest with you, so. Something was buzzing. So I didn't know. I thought you farted.
Just think if you could have smells come from your computer. That'd be amazing.
Okay. Anyway, so we all any final thoughts on the weirdness of the wrestling?
I think for us being hardcore guys and the way that we watched over the years, and the way we were trained to watch, pretty much like our whole lives, the crowd was so important to the whole part of it. And
Bob, you speak to this. Bob, how important is a crowd in a wrestling match? They feed off it. It's
very important.
It's reactionary towards the crowd. So if you want to talk about that real quick. Can you hear us?
It's very important. And since I got this damn phone call, my phone's been fucked up.
Okay.
I'm having a hard time hearing you guys.
If it means anything on our end, you're great. I can see you.
Yeah. Right.
And
okay. Now I feel like I'm 85 years old. So now I know how it is. Now I know how it is in the ring. Now I'm trying to improvise while I'm doing this show because somebody called me during the show because nobody pays attention when I do something. So it's probably like that in the ring down at the Performance Center where they're doing it half-heartedly. I'm trying to do the best that I can because I want to put out the best performance possible.
Yeah.
Got it.
Now, have any of you guys checked in on NXT?
You know what? No. Yeah. Okay. I watched Wednesday's episode, but I taped it because I make a point, like I said before, to watch AEW every week.
Yeah.
And then
they're still kicking NXT's ass in the ratings too,
but NXT, the last episode I just watched was terrible. It wasn't good. Even the main event, the 3-way for the
with Keith Lee.
Yeah, it was terrible.
Now, I noticed what they're doing.
That was forced.
Sam, they're doing like an old school, like 80s. They're not having. Well, they obviously don't have the commentators there, so they're bringing guys from New York to Connecticut to do commentary. They got Sam Roberts from Sirius XM. He went in and did the. Everybody hates him. It was like trending on.
He's terrible.
It was trending on Twitter that how bad he was. But yeah, he was. They brought him in from New York to Connecticut to do the commentary. So he's not even
that live or taping it after, or they're
doing it old school. They're doing the show and then they're putting the commentary in after. So I kind of listening to that show kind of exposed. Behind the curtains of what they're doing right now. But
why would they bring him down? Why would they bring him even there?
He's in New York, and they can Connecticut and New York right by each other, so he could just go right to Connecticut. And he's had formal training from WWE to do it, and they're probably running out of options, so that's why they brought him in.
Well, I'll be honest with you, I watched it. I didn't listen to it overly close, but I've heard worse come from that.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, I have, and I used to listen to his I didn't say it was great, but I used to listen to his podcast, which is pretty good.
Yeah,
it's not bad.
But and Jim and Sam on Sirius isn't bad. On Faction isn't bad. He plays the role he wants to be, like a Bobby Heenan, like heel commentator, and
he's a mark, man. He loves that.
Yeah,
And he does the post-show stuff. I don't know if you guys watch that because our pay-per-view is already 12 hours long.
Yeah.
But post-show, he does a lot of that, and he's on like the panel, and he does a pretty good job there. But when you put him on the, that
was my drive
behind the table, I just didn't think it worked out great. It wasn't. I can't say it was terrible, but I don't think it was great.
Well, I mean, I think we all agree we hate the no crowd thing. We all agree that it's important. Now, the game-changing thing.
But listen to this one. How does Austin get hurt giving a stunner and there's nobody there?
I didn't know that. He really did.
He got hurt. He got hurt giving a stunner to Brian Saxton, whatever his name is. Am I right?
Oh yeah.
And it was him. Boom.
That was on what 3/16. That was the day they were supposed to come to Pittsburgh.
Yeah. He got hurt.
I didn't even see it. When they
it was terrible.
Like I tried to watch the top 10 thing, and I even tried to share them to our page. But yeah, that's about as close as I get. I can't get through a whole broadcast, and then they go into those old school, like last year they do a Becky promo and then go into last year's Mania match. I already saw last. I don't want to see that.
Exactly.
I don't know.
But do you think they should have postponed it? I think they should have postponed it.
I'm torn. At first, I thought yes. They should because of the crowd. I feel for the 5-year-old kid, right?
That bought tickets.
12-year-old kid that bought a ticket and is going to his first WrestleMania, and that's all he's wanted to do, right? So I feel really bad about that. However, there is a bigger picture in this, and the rest of us need something to look forward to. And I think Vince being Vince, he wants to take advantage of the fact that there's nothing else going on right now, not a damn thing. So he thinks he's going to get more ratings, which I don't think has been the case.
It hasn't affected. Actually, ratings are, I think, lower.
Yeah.
Right. For all of the shows.
You guys think he's doing it because the XFL had to be canceled because of this, and this is all he got. So he's going to be the only game in town.
Well,
because it's on WrestleMania is on ESPN the last 2 Sundays. Like that's unheard of. I know they don't have any programming, but still.
I think they have to close out these storylines.
Yeah.
For contract reasons, things like that. They have to close out these storylines. And then I've read that possibly they're going to take a break. And Atlanta already tried to shut down AEW, but they were under all of everything that they needed to do. They were under compliance. So that was, they're already trying to shut them down. Florida has already tried to shut the Performance Center down, but they're going to run out of stuff. I think, unfortunately, with the situation, they're not going to be live in front of the crowd in Tampa, but they gotta close this. It's a weekly episodic show. They gotta close out these storylines, and then I'd say post Mania, take a break till this is all over. Let everybody stay healthy. Post Mania, come at it full force. Maybe do a tease at Mania of some sort for what's going to come after the fact. But
they can talk.
They gotta close
promos.
They gotta close out what they've been building since November.
Right. Well, did you hear about the big fight that Vince and Brock Lesnar had?
I've seen headlines for it, but I didn't hear it. So what super producer Gary DeBar, that's why he's the best producer in the business, brother.
Yeah,
what happened?
Apparently, Lesnar was pissed because he showed up at the Performance Center and he wanted to do his match and get the fuck out.
Yeah.
Well, I guess he was on later on in the day, and so he went charging into Vince's office, and they had like a screaming fight. Essentially, is basically what it was. And
I heard he stuck up for the guys in the back. He said for everybody's safety.
Right, and most of the
guys actually stuck up for Brock in that situation. They were backing Brock, I believe.
That's uncharacteristic for him. So, or at least for us as fans to know that him to be a leader.
He's not the most popular guy in the locker room, from my understanding.
Yeah. Well, also too, Mav, if he would have been in his home of Canada and they had a thing, he would never been able to get in. So that match would have never ever flew if he couldn't get in here.
Yep.
And that match would have been something. And that match, when we talk about it, I'm not happy with that. I'm not.
Yeah. Well, as fans, I feel like we've got screwed because that was probably the biggest draw of the show, and the way everything happened, we kind of missed out on a lot of stuff in that build-up.
If they postponed it, they literally have to extend storylines for 6 months from now. There's no way they can continue those feuds. So unless they recard WrestleMania entirely, they had to do it. They had if they could, they had to do it.
I think all of this has happened. I think the adaptation of going to 2 days, I think that is going to be something that they do in the future. I could see. And
they took out NXT Takeover. That's why
it may be a good. It may be a good thing, the way that we see WrestleManias in the future, and then this will probably spark a bigger pay-per-view later on in the year because that's their January 1st, New Year's Eve, whatever you want to call it, for their new year.
Well, that's another thing. How how the Raw after WrestleMania is huge, right?
Yeah.
I just wonder how that's going to be affected. It's going to suck. That's their biggest Raw. It restarts the year. It kickstarts everything. But to your point, and I didn't think about this till now, Todd, that maybe SummerSlam will just be a little bigger.
Yeah, maybe they make that the biggest pay-per-view of the year.
When is SummerSlam to be? September or October?
That would be fall slam.
Yeah, fall slam. Yeah,
they got to bring fall brawl back at
Halloween
November 22nd. Incorporate them both.
Strange times.
Yeah, so I think what this is doing is really putting them on their toes with adapting, which they haven't been good at in recent months. They're doing their best to adapt to the situation, to keep content coming, but I'm curious to see, because I feel like Vince, he's not going to miss out on that big payday. He's going to have a larger than life event, WrestleMania caliber event at some point this year. And I think that's going to be the one that saves it for the company this year. I don't know what it is. We don't know what it is. And I don't think they maybe at this time don't know what it is. But I'm sure they have a bunch of suits sitting at a table or on a conference call or something talking about it. And hopefully for us as fans, we benefit from it, because now we're not.
It'll just be another Saudi Arabia show or something.
Oh, let's hope not. That would be them just being lazy. So hopefully,
and they know they're going to get that big payday, and they don't have to do anything for it.
Right, because you figure they lost out on all the Fan Fest stuff for the whole week and the Hall of Fame and
Hall of Fame, NXT, XFL, obviously.
Yeah,
they're not getting any income from the crowd.
They watch
millions and millions. He's lost millions, probably $5 million.
It's probably an omen that maybe don't do the XFL after the two fails.
Well, but the XFL still exists. All Steelers now.
Yeah,
Steelers.
I heard they signed like three of them.
But Todd, they didn't fail. They didn't fail. They were actually pretty good, I think. And the championship was going to be, last. I think it's going to be. Well, no, it's going to be in April or something. But still, they had 5 more games to go, and it was still
the product was decent.
Yep.
Yeah.
It
wasn't wrestling. It was all football.
I guess instead of saying fail, it was the circumstances. Yeah. Caused it to go off air.
He sold a lot of his stocks too.
Yeah.
He sold a ton of his stocks to cover the XFL and to cover WrestleMania.
But the XFL got swept by the NFL. Like the Steelers picked up 3 or 4. There was a bunch of other teams that picked up XFL players.
Sure.
So even if they were to go back to it, who are they going to? I mean, they're going to have even worse players than what they have.
There's players out there. There are players out there that don't make teams. They'll just put them in.
I would love to see them
had to sell stuff.
Get some vets that can still play, like named vets that can still play, to bring some eyes that wouldn't typically go to that product and bring them there, like to draw them there.
Yeah.
There are a few guys out there that could probably play at that level that are retired from the NFL and are big enough stars that they could go.
Yeah. But anyway, again, going back to this, and it's probably going to be my theme for the show. Strange times.
Yeah. As they're adapting as a company, we're adapting as fans on what they give us.
I'm not adapting very good, because this is it's just it's when I have my girlfriend tell me they're doing it half-heartedly when we watch it, and she's seeing it, and they're not putting a whole effort into these matches, except for, no offense, like I said before, All Elite is, not WWE.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. It's exposing. It's exposing it, and the fans that know are the ones that.
Did you guys see the one where the girls were taking a break during a commercial and they're like pampering their ass and taking their cheeks and they're standing around like they're at Starbucks?
I did see that.
It's a joke.
Well, let's get right into the card. I missed you guys, and I'm glad we can at least get together this way with technology. Idiot Radio, we're trying to stay ahead of the curve and trying to figure out way, just like WWE, we're trying to figure out ways around it. And I think this is the new norm for now. And when things get back to normal, we'll get back in the studio and do typical shows. And I really want to start going to like indie shows and things like that and have us broadcast from them.
Do you think they'll book us, or are they afraid to book us or ask us? I think they're afraid. I really do, because we almost got 1,500 likes on our Triple B Double D podcast.
It kind of grew overnight.
Thank you very much. And we want more, because I do believe we're the best pro wrestling podcast in Western Pennsylvania and beyond.
Like, share, and subscribe. Let your friends know about us.
Please and thank you.
A lot of feedback. put it in the comments. We'll be we had to pre-record this because of the technology, and we're still trying to figure things out.
Yes,
but we will.
Please don't call me during this.
One
podcast,
of us will
please.
be in the live chat while we're live, and we can we'll talk with you during the live broadcast. I missed the aspect of still having the possibility of phone calls and having the live chat, but I think
it's evolving. Yeah. Every show we get better. Really, we do. I mean, we have like the thousands and thousands of hits that we get, and when we're all three of us in the studio, it's like Voltron.
That's a great analogy. I like that analogy.
Oh, that'll be a meme later about that, I'm sure.
Maybe.
Well, let's go right into the card. WrestleMania.
Here we go.
Hosted by Rob Gronkowski. Bubba loves
terrible.
that.
No, I do not. But you know what? When he came out dancing,
that was so douchey.
He was funny, and I'm like, oh, he's so funny. You just want to punch him in the face.
Oh, it wouldn't surprise me if they offered him a contract, guys. You might as well just get used to seeing him.
He's traded, probably.
I've been saying that though for how long?
Since he's Mojo's best friend.
Yeah.
And I heard rumors that he was going to leave the NFL and he wanted to go do wrestling, but that was a while ago. And
he did do that match with Mojo, Mania 2 years ago.
Right. So who knows? This is probably just a tryout for him.
It'll probably lead into something.
Right.
It'll be like maybe did Tim Tebow of WWE. So it'd be like a rock and sock party, hosted by the Gronk. Hey, we're doing WWE WrestleMania 2022. This is the Gronk. Yeah. That's probably...
But I think eventually it'll lead into some kind of storyline when they feel like he's ready in the ring.
And they can use him for the WWE network for programming too.
Yeah, he's a draw. I mean, he is a draw.
Yeah,
he's
probably Massachusetts.
One of the greatest tight ends ever play the game. Let's go right into matches. Otis, Dolph Ziggler. Gary, do you know which day that is?
This is actually going to be on Sunday.
That's a Sunday match.
Yeah.
I mean, they had a storyline. They have a storyline going. They've been building since Valentine's Day with what's her name?
This is the King Kong Bundy SD Jones of the match.
But Otis and his partner, Heavy Machinery, they were getting a little bit of a push. And the next thing you know, they put him in the singles thing.
And they threw him in the background, and then they kind of pushed Street Profits to the front, And I feel like those guys Heavy Machinery got screwed, and they put, they were using Otis right. He was the kind of like the comic relief, but they were still a legitimate tag team. And now they've kind of just made it all about, Otis being comic relief, and they're kind of taken away from them in the ring.
It just killed that whole team. It killed that whole team. Those guys were good.
What's the girl? Who's the girl that they're doing that they're fighting over?
Mandy Rose.
Mandy Rose, that's right. And she's going to affect the outcome.
And it took them right out of the tag team stuff. Like they always do that. Every tag team, 90% of the tag teams that come from NXT, they F it up. Really, we all know that. Look what they did the Revival. They just, and the Viking Raiders, just dumbass stuff.
Yeah, no, but let's face it, guys. This match was just a fill-in. Because they had to spread it across 2 nights.
It was probably a pre-show match, maybe. I don't know.
I don't even know about that.
What do you think the payoff's going to be? I'm gonna go. I think Otis is going to go over. And
I think you're going to say that.
Mandy Rose is going to – I love him. I think he's
I know you do.
He's like my cousin. Like, we could probably be cousins. I want to be his partner.
And you're right, Todd. That's what's going to happen. Mandy's going to feel sorry for him, and he's going to beat Dolph because Dolph is just a punching bag for the WWE.
Yeah, and when he goes to AEW, he'll be the –
You guys stole the words out of my mouth.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm so sorry.
It's all good. So we all agree. So we think Otis is going over.
And you think Rose is?
You should write these
Rose
down.
Is going to affect.
I am. I'm on it right here.
Okay.
I got it.
Oh, that's why you're the hottest producer in radio today.
So, do you guys agree that Rose is going to have some kind of effect of the outcome?
Yeah.
Yes. And she'll look good too.
They'll make her look good doing it. So
she'll look good.
The next two matches, I don't like. It's like why? So let's just go right into the first one. Aleister Black, Bobby Lashley. This is the fans lose in this match because neither one of these guys should lose. There's no point of it. Like it's just like, okay, you guys were in the break room, you're fighting. It's right. You're in the lunchroom together. We don't got anybody because
he took the last.
They should never work against each other.
No, there's no point of it.
Nope.
I would actually like to flip these two matches. The other one is Elias and Corbin. Now, I would have liked to see maybe Elias and Black, maybe, and Lashley and Corbin. I don't. It just doesn't make sense. The matches don't make sense.
No, I think Elias with his performance. Now being a face, but they have to push him more. Corbin is actually cutting great heel promos.
Yeah.
And he's a great heel, which I never thought he would be. I never thought he would amount to anything going to the main roster.
I still don't think
I love a lot. I love a lot. And I think with Elias.
But he can cut a good promo.
With Elias.
He cuts a good promo, man.
They've kind of gone against what the fans wanted with him because they've had him over so many times where they're doing the chants and then he's like, fuck you, your city smells like shit. You know what I mean? Like they had him where he should have been. And, when he first came out, I always said that he reminds me of a young Randy Savage. And
coming off the top,
with his look, even his look and everything, like his, from far away, when I first saw him, I didn't even realize he was from here. And I always said
he gained some mass too.
He resembled
Savage.
Gained
some mass. He wasn't that big when he was working at IWC.
Yeah.
He was big, but he's bigger now.
Yeah. So
and he's happy. He's happy with that role of doing the guitar stuff because he always played guitar. Because I heard him on an interview. But they're not, and they should have kept him, like you said, as a heel because he'd have been so over.
But see,
over.
I see. No, my point was actually the opposite. There were so many times over the year or 2 years recently that the crowd wanted to cheer him, and then they would just force that heel bullshit down their throat, and they're chanting, "We want Elias," and he's shitting all over the city. You know what I mean? Like,
I think it's more of those things where it's a respect thing. Like, a lot of heels end up becoming the best baby faces in a sense because even though they're still heels, because there's just so much respect there that they're that good of a heel.
So a lot of
like Flair is a perfect example of that.
Yeah, he gets to turn it.
He was a heel, but everybody just loves him now because he was so good as a heel. It's just a respect thing.
Yeah,
and he could turn it into back in the day.
Yep. Yeah, like Flair could turn it. Like he could be a baby at the beginning of the show and heel by the end, and everybody's throwing garbage into this ring. And I miss those days, like the old NWO, and the fans are throwing all the garbage and stuff at the end of the match, the end of the show, and
like pure white
emotion,
white heat.
Yeah,
you get that white heat stuff, and it's smeltering off the steel, and it's melting flesh. That's the heat that you want.
Yeah,
it's so rare now too.
Missing, yeah. So good point.
So who are you taking, Bubba, in Black?
Let's go. Yeah, and what day is that one?
Gary? That one is Sunday as well.
The Lashley Aleister Black match.
Yeah,
which I don't think. Man, this is going to be a tough one because both of them, neither one of them should lose because they lose their. Lashley should never ever get pinned anyway. But I know they'll fuck it up, and I'm gonna go with Aleister Black.
Okay, Todd, what about you?
I'm gonna say a no contest. I'm gonna say Lana is gonna cause a DQ. I'm gonna go no contest.
That's interesting. I kind of like
that.
Then
that saves face for both guys.
I think I'm gonna go Black as well, but I like your take on it, Todd. I do. I think that'd be smart. That'd be the best situation.
I have an inappropriate joke there went after. I'll just keep it to myself. Moving on, Elias versus Corbin. I think
that is on Saturday.
That's a Saturday match. I'm going Elias. I think they got to put him over. What about you guys?
Ooh. Go ahead, Bubs.
I'm going to say I do like Elias, but I'm going to go with Corbin.
Man.
No reason.
There really is no reason. There's no point in this match.
I know.
Well, the reason why we're doing this, I put more thought into picking winners and losers than I did doing my college exam.
Well, this is what's important, you know?
Right. Yeah.
I know.
This is actually fun. I'm gonna go Corbin.
Corbin.
Well, another thing before we get off this match, where is Bobby Roode? Because isn't Roode still with Corbin?
Yeah, but he's also with Ziggler.
He's with Dolph.
He could be both.
Yeah,
because he's got to do something at Mania.
True.
I still
Maybe
think
he'll help Corbin.
I still think with all the efforts now that they're putting into putting Elias over as a baby, I think he's got to overcome massive adversity, whether it's Rude or, Corbin cheating somehow. And then you think it's impossible. The odds are impossible. And Elias is just going to come out.
Last week, didn't he get taken off of that balcony last week? He got dropped on SmackDown last week. He got kicked off or something onto the balcony, onto the floor. Did you guys see that?
I didn't. I'll be honest.
I'll be honest.
I must really suck at life because I must have watched SmackDown. But yeah, Corbin kicked him off the top and he landed. I think it was edited. You know what I mean? Like, he fell, and then he edited and he landed up on his backside on the floor, from 16 feet up.
Yeah.
So yeah, that'll be his adversity because he's not 100%.
Yeah, I think that's
still taking Corbin though.
Okay. The next match, I think it's going to be a good match, but I hate the whole scenario. I hate the whole storyline. I hate it all. The Kevin Owens, Seth Rollins match.
Yeah.
What? I mean, you take away. You got no Murphy.
That's a Saturday match, by the way.
No Murphy. No. What are those guys? IP, whatever. I was going to call them the APA.
The rip-off APA.
Yeah. Those big guys. I don't know.
Authors of Pain.
Yeah, APA. Or whatever. I just
Authors of Pain.
It's stupid. It's just that's one of the ones that's affected by all this because not all the players involved are part of it. And then
it just goes to what we were just saying, another wasted tag team.
Yeah. Yeah. When they put the belts on Murphy and Seth, I was like, what are they doing?
Yeah, exactly.
They should have put it on those guys.
They don't know what they're doing. That's the problem.
I'm
going to go with Rollins.
You think Seth?
Yeah.
What about you,
Bob?
I
think it's going to be a payoff. So
I'm taking. Well, maybe with. Well, you said Rollins.
Yeah.
Mav.
Yeah.
What'd you say, Todd?
I'm going to go.
You guys both.
No, I'm going to go Owens. I think. I just think Owens is going to.
I think he's going to steal one too. I think Owens is going to steal one with a quick stunner, and they're going to keep that feud going.
Yeah,
I don't know why.
I don't know the Monday Night Messiah thing. It has potential to be great. The faction and all that. It has potential to be great. It's just
he's not good as a heel.
It's falling
not good as a heel.
I don't like it because it's already been done.
It's kind of like reminiscent of Raven's flock.
It's exactly what CM Punk did.
They're repackaging old shit. Yeah, I don't know. I definitely. I'll take Kevin Owens. The potential's there for that gimmick. I I'm not liking the way that Seth is. I don't think Seth is into it, and so I don't think he's executing it.
Well, the thing is, though, when they were tagging up with Samoa Joe getting hurt, that probably cost Owens and Samoa Joe probably the tag team titles, and they might have been pushing AOP, IOAOP, whatever the hell they are. They probably could have took it because those two were feuding with that whole faction, and with Samoa Joe getting hurt, probably took them out of the tag team titles.
Ripped apart, and
Yeah.
The next match, the Firefly Funhouse match,
which that is a Saturday match as well.
That's Saturday, so they're bringing Cena Saturday.
Oh, that'll be good.
Yeah.
That'll be a lot of balloons, dogs getting made, and
I don't know. First of all,
Cena
can't win this. Yeah, he can't win.
Cena's taking the fall.
If they were smart, they would do that and give Bray Wyatt a push. But they screw this up all the time.
It's
a gimmick match. First of all, it's a weird gimmick match, just like the
they already wrestled before, and Cena beat him before.
Right.
So this time it'll be the Fiend.
Well, from my
hopefully not the red light.
This is just my.
They don't have red lights in the funhouse.
My prediction on this. I think there's going to be it's going to be Bray Wyatt, and since it's going to be like a gimmick match and it's going to be off-site, it'll be a lot of editing.
Yeah.
This is kind of like the thing that him and Randy Orton did. Yeah. But him and Randy Orton, the Fiend and Randy Orton did something like this too. And I bet you, just as an assumption, it's going to be Bray Wyatt at first. It's going to face John Cena, right?
Yeah.
And next thing you know, he's vanishes, and then the Fiend actually comes out.
Yeah.
So I think there's going to be Bray Wyatt.
Out of a telephone booth.
Yeah. Only Cena's getting the best of him. Next thing you know, he disappears, a Fiend come out, and he dominates.
I'm so disappointed, and we've talked about this over and over again on the show, what they've done with the Fiend. He was there. He was the next, Undertaker type.
But he didn't need that title. That's what killed him.
They put that title on him, and then you had to have him lose. And then you have him lose to fucking Goldberg in 30 seconds. Who
couldn't even get him up for the jackhammer.
No, he could not.
If you're going to do it, damn, that wasn't even a jackhammer. It wasn't even a jack.
It was like a side suplex. It wasn't. It was bad.
But here's the craziest thing, you guys. John Cena, now because of the coronavirus, his movie brother, okay, you know what I mean? They would have pushed that to the Hilton if we wouldn't have had the coronavirus, and they would have had fucking Vin Diesel could have been out there because they were brothers in that movie. They would have used that to actually catapult that shit because it's WrestleMania. And that's all I need to see is I hate Vin Diesel sucks.
I'll punch the TV if that happens.
But you know what though? They could have did that because the Fast and Furious was going to come out very soon.
Yeah, they did it with Ron
back next year, and he could have walked out with Cena or did something or whatever.
They could have done that. I'm not saying they wouldn't, but at the same time, Vin Diesel and The Rock hate each other, and I know, I don't know if Vince would go against The Rock like that. I don't know. The
Rock's not even going to be there.
I know, but still.
Yeah, I don't know. Cena, I think we all agree, right? All three of us agree Cena has to lose.
Yeah.
I think he beats the shit out of Bray and then loses to the Fiend.
Right.
And hopefully they get the Fiend back on track because they were doing it right. My only complaint was that early on, I always said that Bray and the Fiend should never acknowledge that they were the same person. They should have.
Right.
It would have opened up a lot more doors. And then they put that title on him, and then it kind of watered him down. It took away the mystery. It took away the magical power.
To make him complete, he's got to pin Taker. To make that character complete, he's got to face Taker and pin Taker.
I would have rather seen that match.
He should have beat Taker. What WrestleMania was that?
But that was Bray. I understand, but that was Bray. This is a whole different
Bray
character.
Wasn't ready. I don't think that Bray character was ready, but the Fiend is a perfect
The Fiend should beat Cena, And then they should do something with the Taker, because that gimmick and the Fiend gimmick, with the Fiend finally going over and pushing that character to new heights.
Because he brings that element that's going to be missing when Undertaker eventually does leave for good. He still brings that, that magic or mystery, mystical power gimmick.
They missed the boat on this a while ago. I mean, like I said, there's been multiple guys that I could think of that probably could have came up and taken the Undertaker spot.
Yeah.
But they just can't stop bringing the Undertaker back. No, I'll be honest with you. I thought Bray Wyatt should have been one of them. I thought Baron Corbin, with his old gimmick, when he came up and he was coming out like a bat out of hell and he was getting over and he had that cool, like, dark, sinister gimmick, he could have been one. And I also think that Aleister Black could have been one.
Yeah, they were kind of going there with Black. And
they were.
And now it's kind of getting stale.
And I know this is an ongoing topic, but wrestling is small now. They got to get their ass out of the
I know, but just to be – well, they could have did that with, like, maybe the Finn Balor when he was the demon character, which they don't even – you don't even see that anymore.
That was another guy I was just going to mention. Yeah.
So – but Taker with the Fiend now could be something, because – They could do that, that could be the next big thing, because Taker still has a little bit left in his tank.
Maybe that's the thing that sends Taker home.
Yeah, but is that enough to make the Fiend and Bray Wyatt a superstar to the next level? Because if you beat Cena, which will happen, if you pin Cena, you're cemented as a few people are, because not too many people have actually pinned Cena.
But I think they were right. They were right there with it, and they proved that he could do it. And then, like, all of a sudden, like, creative just ate a dick and flushed all that work they did down the toilet.
It's been bad. Yeah. I agree.
So let's go on to the next match. We were just talking about the Undertaker, the Boneyard match, AJ Styles. Taker's. I don't really think we need to waste a lot of time on this.
I do like AJ, and it's another moment because of the coronavirus and all this stuff where AJ's moment facing Taker in a WrestleMania moment.
Right. You're not going to pass that up as a AJ Styles. That's somebody probably looked up to his whole career, and to get that dream match.
Just a couple of things. That match is Sunday, by the way. That we'll have to wait for Sunday to see that. AJ Styles does not have a good record at WrestleMania.
Yeah,
he's terrible. I don't even know if he's won a WrestleMania match. But every year it comes around, they put him in dog shit matches.
Yeah, but he
actually has good matches though.
Yeah, they're great
matches. Good matches at Mania.
His record's
terrible
on Mania,
and he had to wrestle Shane McMahon. I mean, come on. Like, seriously, AJ Styles should not have been wrestling.
Nobody should be wrestling Shane McMahon.
Like, please. AJ, I'm telling you, I've said this to you guys before. I have never seen a bad AJ Styles match.
No.
Okay, not one. Why is
everybody and he's going to make Taker look like gold.
And
it's going to be a good match.
And why?
It's not going to go that long.
No, it's not going to be a good match because it's a gimmick match. I would have rather seen it in the ring, and I would have rather seen AJ Styles in his element to make the Undertaker look good again. In this Boneyard match, they're just beating each other with shovels and covering each other.
Where are they putting a Boneyard in the fucking Performance Center out in the fucking parking lot?
I don't know.
Somewhere.
But the thing of it is, I don't know why AJ Styles isn't in discussion for one of the best ever. Like, I've never seen a bad AJ Styles match. I'm not saying
I think he's a modern day Shawn Michaels.
Yeah.
As far as the way he works in the ring.
But he's distinguished himself enough to where he's kind of the size of Shawn Michaels and, maybe certain aspects of the look, but his fighting style's different.
Very different.
He's not throwing super kicks every 2 moves.
But he makes guys look good.
Yeah. And perfect match for The Undertaker. I would have just rather seen it in the ring.
I think that AJ Styles Cena feud a few years ago, that rejuvenated Cena and he made Cena look really good in that process.
I agree.
So, like your point, Gary, I think as fans, we're getting cheated with this gimmick match because, AJ and Taker in the actual ring in an actual wrestling match could really be something special. Yeah. With two Hall of Fame quality guys like that, they don't need that edit. You want that, and not having a crowd, not having that raw emotion and the feel from the crowd. The fans are getting cheated out of potentially.
But also the guys are getting cheated because being a guy in the ring before, when people are chanting your name, and I mean, Matt can tell you, it's a drug and an adrenaline. You can do shit that you never thought you could possibly do to keep it. You know what I mean? Like, they don't have that.
And
that sucks too.
Everybody said wrestling's fake, but it hurts. It does hurt. And whenever you're in the moment and you're running off adrenaline, and people are cheering for you, you continue. You keep going. Yeah. You take that element out of it and you get hurt. It's like, throw up the X. I'm done. This is stupid. I don't know. Weird match, but we all agree the Undertaker, right?
Yeah. Last man standing match, Edge versus Orton.
We got 3 gimmick matches in a row here.
What day is this one, Gary?
This is Sunday.
Monday.
This one's tough for me.
I'm going to say Orton because I don't think they're going to keep it going.
I was thinking the same thing.
I don't think it's going to end here. I'm going to say Orton.
But I don't know what kind of schedule.
He signed a 3-year deal.
Yeah, he's back.
I think he had the Undertaker Brock Lesnar schedule.
Yeah, I think he's back.
By the time they do something again, it'll be probably after. I wouldn't do any more pay-per-views until after the coronavirus.
Right. I wouldn't do anything. Maybe a Monday night thing. If they may have already recorded Raw. Now I know these matches are already done, from what I'm understanding, and I've also heard that they did 2 endings so that nothing leaks.
For this match only?
For all the matches.
For all of them. Okay.
Yeah. They did
That's
2.
Interesting.
So
this match here is an ending of a feud, really. Last man standing match.
It should be. It should be. There was no build up to pay it off.
It should be. I think they're doing that to get. I don't think Edge has the wind back yet. So this kind of bails Edge out a little bit with the last man standing. I don't think this will hopefully ease him into going into full matches eventually, since he signed that 3-year deal.
But Todd, their cardio should be all good because that's all they're probably doing now is training on the other side of that ring.
He's not young anymore either.
No.
But there's ring rust, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Right. But still, I mean,
I think they're bailing Edge out by
practicing it.
Yeah.
They're probably practicing every match that's on this card we're talking about. They've already practiced it 20 times over. Yeah. Probably because they got nothing else to do.
The thing that makes me vomit inside in my mouth is thinking of the fact that they probably filmed these and there was a blown spot or something, and you hear somebody in the background cut, and like a blockbuster movie that just makes me ruins it. I try to not think of it to be that way, but part of me knows hey, that's probably what happened.
If they recorded 2 endings, that's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you're picking Orton, Todd. Bubs, you're up. This one's tough for me too.
You think Edge, right?
This is probably the toughest match of the card of the whole Mania both nights for me, because it's like I said, it's an ending of a feud. And he just signed a 3-year deal. They're not gonna make Edge. I'm going to go with Edge because they're not going to, but they're losing all that stuff with Orton that they've been pushing, and probably before he goes off the pasture. I believe Orton should win the title one more time.
Yeah.
But what do I know? I'm living.
Orton just signed a contract too, didn't he?
It's a long one. Yeah, it's a big one.
Yeah.
So I don't think he's done anytime soon. But if you notice, he's not on every Raw or every house show anymore. You know what I mean? He's on a as needed basis too.
I'm
gonna go with Orton.
Orton too. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna end. I think it's. Yeah. I just think they put the. Like, I know what you're saying, Bob, that this is like a payoff type match with the stipulation and all that. But I think, they're just doing it to bail Edge out, to keep him.
But remember, every last man standing match, it's always the end of the feud. Right. The Rock and Foley and like the smallest guys I can think of. Like, it's always the end, not the beginning of not the beginning match.
Well, and a part of me felt like, okay, so where are they going to go after this, right? But at the same time, I don't feel they had enough build up to pay it off yet. So I feel like it's going to continue. Whether it's a Hell in the Cell, I don't know. Who the hell knows? But
maybe there's some kind of surprise that comes out. I think
his wife.
Somebody helps Orton somehow, and I don't know.
DiBiase Jr.
Definitely the toughest match to predict on the card.
Yeah, but I
agree.
I don't think it's going to be something shady's going to. I just think they put the gimmick stipulation in to bail out Edge, but so yeah, Gary and I agree. Bub thinks this is the end of it. Gary and I.
No, I don't think it's the end. I think Orton will probably go ballistic if he does lose and just give him a whole bunch of RKOs after the match and just carry him out in a stretcher.
No.
Like with the 5 people that are there, grab a stretcher and take him out.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, he's going to be pissed that he lost, and the feud will still be going, which I don't know why they did it like this, but just because they have that documentary now on WWE Network, the Edge thing. I didn't get a chance to see it yet. I mean, I'm sure we all got chances to see everything we ever wanted to see here in the last week and the upcoming weeks. But yeah, they just have this new thing about his rehab and how he come back, all that.
Yeah, I didn't watch it yet either.
The thing that go ahead, Gary.
I don't really want to get into this exactly, right now. If we have time, at the end or at another time, but I don't know if you guys watched the Dark Side of the Ring with the Benoit stuff.
I think we talk about that after Mania. Because that'll give us something more to talk about after we bitch about how bad Mania was for.
But my goodness, you were talking about getting to watch everything. Holy!
And I will tell my New Jack story also.
We have our exciting interview that we did with New Jack. That was the most awkward. I'm going behind the curtain. I don't care. It was the most awkward interview that I've ever done in my career. He wouldn't.
Let's save that.
All right, when we talk about
because he's going to be on the Dark Side of the Ring this week.
Yeah,
I think, or was.
I've seen it already.
It already happened. It already happened, and it does not paint him in a good light.
No,
I'm friends with him on Facebook because of the interview, but let's just say it was the most awkward interview. He didn't give me shit. I was hoping that he was still like getting high and drunk so that I could get something really good from him, but I got nothing. And if you guys heard, like, it was a really bad interview, and I didn't even want to post it.
You wait till I tell you the story from Drillers.
Okay, we'll talk about. There's the tease for next show. We're going to talk. We'll do our Mania recap, and then we'll go into the Dark Side of the Ring.
The Triple B Double D tells of the real Dark Side.
Yeah, he I knew.
I have a story about the Benoit thing. Actually. I'll never forget that day, but we'll save it. But you were saying about getting to watch everything, so I just had to throw that in there real quick.
Yeah, so catch up on that. Do homework. How about that? In your downtime, if you're looking for something to do, watch that Dark Side of the Ring. It's on Vice, and that'll be a topic of discussion for our Mania recap show, and then we can add that into it. Right. Going right back
I'm all current.
Going right back into our matches. The WWE Women's Tag Title match: Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss versus the Kabuki Warriors.
I'm gonna go with Bliss and Cross.
I'm gonna agree. I think I don't care. I'm done with. I think they've screwed over Asuka.
I love the Kabuki War. I love Asuka. Let's put it that way.
I love Japanese wrestling where it's at. I'm gonna go. I'm taking the champs. Asuka on the mic is She's gold.
Is she?
I never thought I'd ever hear anybody say that ever. But yeah, I mean, she's entertaining as hell.
Yeah, I like her as a female wrestler, and I think they buried her in the tag team division because they don't know what to do. But
Kairi Sane cannot wrestle both Bliss and Cross.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Sane cannot wrestle both of them. They cannot wrestle them. And Asuka, is a top 5 female wrestler in their division.
They're just the Cross and Bliss. I think are the more popular of the two. I don't care. I don't. They were doing everything right with the women for so long, and then all of a sudden it took, like with the Fiend, it just took a turn where everything that they did right with the women, now they're doing wrong. I don't care.
So you're going to
Cross, yeah.
Okay, and then Bubs, you're taking the Kabuki Warriors.
Yes, I'm taking the Kabuki Warriors. Yes.
Okay.
What day was that? What day is that match?
That one is actually Saturday.
Okay, that's Saturday.
Tomorrow.
What time is this? What time is this shindig starting Saturday? 3:30.
7 a.m.
Well, shit, I gotta watch it at work. I don't think I can, but I might.
No, if they would have condensed this into one day, it would have started at 7 a.m. But no, I think 6 o'clock is the pre-show tomorrow, and then 7 actual pay-per-view show.
And it goes to 1 a.m. every night.
No, actually, it says, according to their run sheet that I saw online, it ends at like 10:15.
Oh, that's not too bad then. I
can 10:15.
Yeah, because there's no bullshit. Nobody's going to run over. They can edit whatever the hell they want.
Okay.
So I don't know. I don't know if that's true, but I would just say, 6 to 11 is the time frames of the pre-show and the, But
I think the second night runs longer. Maybe.
Actually, the second night, I think
they'll do it as a surprise.
Later. I think it starts later. I think the pre-show's at 7, and then the pay-per-view's at 8. I don't know. Just tune in at 6 to 11. You're fine.
It'll be on all day.
It's gonna be a roller coaster.
And then they're gonna replay it all.
Yeah, they'll probably replay it in succession. Yeah. The men's, what is it? The SmackDown Tag Titles match. Now I guess it's not a tag title match anymore. It's one of the Usos. They didn't say which one. They just said one of the Usos versus Morrison. Because Miz had to pull out, and I guess the New Day pulled out. So, is it a tag match? Is it?
I saw on what you sent, Todd, that it was like that. I was still seeing online it was New Day versus Usos versus the Miz and Morrison. That's why I wanted to ask.
Miz is out. They've already said Miz is out. He came with a fever, and everybody was pissed off.
Okay, so Morrison versus.
How can he be pissed off if he has a fever?
Well, because he showed up with a fever.
He showed up,
he showed up with the fever.
Yeah. Because they're screening everybody before. They're taking time.
Kids. I mean, we know. I mean, my kids come home from daycare sick constantly. They're just a factory for germs.
Right.
So, it happens. As long as he's okay, I mean, that's all that matters.
So it's going to be Morrison versus one of the Usos.
Yeah.
And then not one of the new
match.
There's no New Day.
They're going to retain the title.
There's no as the title implications involved. How about we just skip this one? I don't really.
This is where I'm going to go get something to eat when this shows up.
Well, is the New Day involved at all?
It says on my notes. Now your notes might be different, Gary. It says ladder match for the SmackDown Tag Titles. One of the Usos. It doesn't say if it's Jimmy or Jay.
Okay.
It says versus John Morrison, champion. Changed from the New Day versus the Usos versus Morrison and Miz.
Okay, so why don't we just pick one of the either Miz or Uso? I don't know.
I'm just going to
say Morrison.
I'm just going to say Morrison's going to retain because I don't know what they can do with it. We don't even have to count this in our picks. Let's just because it's so goofy.
Okay.
Null and void.
Yeah, it's probably gonna happen quick and be done. The Intercontinental title match, Daniel Bryan versus Sami Zayn.
which I think is going to be the match of the night and the one that I'm the most looking forward to. So, but I know I love both these guys. I've seen them wrestle a million times in ROH. I think I am going to go with Sami Zayn to retain, just for the simple fact I heard Daniel Bryan's going to be taking some time off, but I don't know how true that is.
Well, if that's true, then
but don't let that. That's you know how rumors go. So
I know. Everybody said I was 175 pounds a year ago. I'm going to take Daniel Bryan.
Okay.
Because who's the Gulak? Gulak will come out and help him because Cesaro and Shinsuke will be there. So that's probably why he wins.
Yeah, and that sucks that those guys have to be involved because they don't need to be.
But what will happen is Daniel will win, and then Gulak will challenge him for the title.
And Gulak's a hell of a talent.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, any true wrestling fan that loves technical wrestling, you have to love Drew Gulak. So him and Daniel Bryan would be a hell of a tag team. For sure.
I agree that Zayn is going to retain.
Okay.
I agree with it's kind of behind the curtain way of thinking. His wife's pregnant. I think she's due soon, so I think his time and attention needs to be at home right now. So I don't see Bryan going over.
And that match is Saturday.
Maybe Gulak joins forces with Zayn or causes Bryan to lose. And then I'd like to see maybe down the road Bryan and Zayn go at it again.
That's just another example of they don't know what the hell to do with guys.
Yeah.
Why? I mean, Shinsuke Nakamura, when he came to WWE, he was one of the best talents in the world at the time.
Right.
One of the best. And they're not doing anything with him.
No, he's not. He doesn't even have a Mania match.
He doesn't even have a Mania match. And
Who decides this? Who decides this? Because we could put him in a dunk tank and throw baseballs at him.
Yeah,
I know. It's just. Ugh.
And then you have
Cesaro.
Nothing
with Cesaro either.
Cesaro should have had a world title by now. He should.
Yep.
They keep repackaging him and putting him with people that he doesn't need to be. And even when they put him with Sheamus, it didn't make sense at first, but they made it work because they're two high-profile talents, and they made the best of a bad situation.
He's not even on the show at all either.
If he's in AEW, he's a champion. He's a top-tier talent because they would use him right. I mean, look what they did with Harper. What's his name now? Brody Lee.
Yeah.
I mean, he's
great gimmick.
Look at him
talk on the mic too.
Who knew?
But they wouldn't let him.
They wouldn't let him.
They wouldn't let him because he doesn't have the typical look for WWE and what they like. So they usually throw the. Yeah. They usually throw those guys. Oh, he looks like a bum. Let's just throw him with Bray Wyatt and don't let him say anything. You know. And
Brody Lee's vignette this week when he was cutting steak was good.
Yeah.
Did you see that, Mav?
Oh yeah.
It was great.
Phenomenal. Yep. Those vignettes and those segments of All Elite is outshining anything WWE is bringing in any type of segment.
Those vignettes are like blockbuster, like really well produced.
Right now, this is really shining. Like AEW is really coming through with this and shining because they're coming out with a better product. However, they don't catch the casual fan's eye.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's where they're never going to surpass WWE unless
their creative is hungry, where WWE is just trying to figure out how to beat yesteryear, and they can't do it.
They're just eating bonbons on a couch.
And another thing is, to go back to why AEW's arena doesn't feel so empty was, let's face it, I've seen most of those guys wrestle in front of 10 people at one point in time.
Yeah.
So that's just not abnormal to me.
It's not abnormal to them either.
No, they're accustomed to it. They're comfortable with it. It doesn't bother them at all. I don't know. I just think they're doing it right, and for whatever reason, their arena does not feel empty. Yeah. And their matches, they do matches. They're not doing reruns.
Yeah,
that was the best show. That was the best show. House show, pay-per-view, the excitement, and the electricity that I've been to, and I can't even remember when.
I think they're two free agents away from taking it to the next level. They need a Hall and Nash moment to get them to
here's
the next level.
This is where they don't want to go down the rabbit hole of getting too many old WWE guys.
Right.
They got to continue to build stars and make stars because that's where WCW shit the bed.
But there's so many guys that are over in WWE that if they switch, like Ziggler, like Cesaro, like like we were just talking about,
Revival.
I'm not sold on the Revival. I mean, I like.
Oh, I love them.
They're like a throwback,
and that's what I like. But the thing of it is, they don't get a chance to shine. Those guys do better with matches that go 15 to 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And even when they do get airtime, they're going 5, maybe, 10, maybe with entrances. So, but those two would fit in great in AEW because they have the best tag team division.
Yeah.
But the thing, guys, before we start getting back onto we got off a little tangent. The weakest thing on All Elite is their ladies wrestling. So if they grab a couple of the WWE stars that are unhappy,
right,
and take them, I'm not a big Sasha Banks fan at all. But if Sasha went to All Elite and then somebody else went, it could strengthen that. Like they need a WWE female signing that's good.
A blockbuster.
The women's food chain, even in like we were saying about WWE, they've dropped the ball. They were doing everything right with the women. Now they shit the bed. And the food chain in the women's division is there's 2 or 3 at the top of the food chain, and everyone else is kind of like, So when they finish feuds, there's nothing left. Then you got to manufacture somebody new, and I don't think they're using Baszler right. They're force feeding it when they didn't have to.
That was terrible.
The way they're packaging her.
To both of your points and to tie them together is you have the top of the food chain, as you said, with the women's division, and they're not going anywhere.
Right.
The only one that's a high-profile name that would be worth anything to go to AEW would be Sasha Banks. To your point, Bubba. Everybody else, who's going to go over?
Nobody else.
Nobody. I mean, Rose.
You know who could go over, Matt? You know who could go over right now, but she's in NXT is Bianca Blair, and she would be world champion in All Elite.
But she's being utilized right in NXT.
She's not leaving.
No. And the thing of it is, if they would have left Cesaro down in NXT, if they would have left Finn Balor, I mean, I know he went back down. A lot of these guys that came up, they didn't know what to do with that. I'm telling you, NXT would be more over than Raw or SmackDown.
I think Balor being down helps Balor, but hurts the main roster product because
they weren't using him.
He was, but he put they did use him. He put on solid blockbuster type matches.
Oh, I agree. But the problem is, you can't change Vince's mind.
Yeah.
And once he said, "Oh, he's too small," get him to eat a steak. Damn it, It's one of those things. It's just not. It's not. You can't change Vince's mind. He's the most stubborn sumbitch you're ever going to meet, and Finn Balor's too small for him, no matter how much he's over.
All right, let's go next. Back to WrestleMania, the Raw Tag Title match. Angel Garza and Austin Theory, who's replacing Andrade.
Could I just ask a question here? I'm sorry. I usually know wrestlers before they come up to the roster. Where did Austin Theory come from? I missed this. I've never even seen the guy work.
Evolve. He was the Evolve champion in Evolve Wrestling.
Okay. All right.
He came there and then he signed an NXT contract. He actually, he's real young. He's got a good look. Yeah. But he's getting pushed way too quickly, and somebody else should have took that spot.
He's fallen into that situation.
Is he a Latino?
No.
Okay.
Actually, on Raw, if you saw it, they were teasing the possibility of him joining with Seth at some point.
Oh, okay.
They were kind of because they linked them together, Seth with Garza and Andrade versus Street Profits and Owens, which I don't know. It may change if they did do 2 endings. Something may be different because Ford broke his back in the match. He did a
who? He
Ford,
did.
He did a moonsault off the
I seen that
the top rope and flipped and landed on his back. And
Theory was supposed to be there, Austin, and he moved.
Spot, yeah. So he was supposed to be the spot monkey on that and catch him, and so that may have changed the way that if they did do 2 endings, Street Profits are going to have to lose the title because I don't know. Look,
I didn't hear that he broke his back.
Yeah, he did. He came out on social media and said he did. So,
Jesus Christ!
Was that April Fool's?
Maybe. I didn't even put that into consideration, but he hit hard.
So much height going over that top rope.
And you know what I love about him is, and those guys, if you notice, when they came out to the ring, they acted like the crowd was there. They were doing everything that they do. They were playing to the crowd like they would if a crowd was there. Nobody else really was doing that. And then Ford was wrestling with that intensity, like he was in front of a sold-out arena, which, I thought was one of the high points of the no crowd shows is what those guys were doing. Yeah, so I'm standing pretty clear on what I think with just taking a chance with that injury to Ford. I think if they did record 2 endings, I'm just going to base my pick on that and say Garza and Theory win. I don't know, Gary, what do you think?
I am going to bank that on the fact that was an April Fool's joke. And I think I'm going to go with the Street Profits.
I didn't even think of that. And, now that
I don't know for sure. I didn't hear that at all. But I'll be honest with you, I have been so busy.
Well, April Fool's was what? Wednesday.
Today's the 3rd. So it is the 3rd, right? Yeah, the 3rd.
But for me, I watched that match, and I think he still wrestled after that move.
No. The finish wasn't too far after, and they do show when Seth's walking up the ramp, he's laying there, and then they went to commercial and then went to Owen's promo, and they didn't show him leave. They didn't show him leave on his own accord. They didn't show anything about anybody leaving except Seth.
And it was pre-recorded. It was taped, so
yeah.
They could have cut it any way they liked.
So, you're taking new champs.
Yeah, new champs.
You're taking new champs. You're taking Street Profits. And could they throw in another team against them?
But they already recorded it.
Yeah.
You know what? Well, shit.
They're not going to acknowledge. It's going to be weird how they do this. Maybe they scrap the match altogether. Yeah. If he truly is injured,
I'm going to go with another. They're going to put another team in there and make it a 3-way. Whatever the other team is that's more qualified than these 2 rookies.
But wasn't this?
They can't. I don't think they can give the titles to these 2 guys.
Yeah, Raw was recorded after.
So SmackDown or WrestleMania was already recorded midweek.
Yeah. I'm saying if they did 2 endings, I'm saying Garza and Theory take it. Just because of what happened with the injury. If it's real, to Gary's point.
I'm going to go crazy, and I'm going to say another team.
You're going to come out and a surprise.
It was recorded.
I didn't know about the back breaking, and I can't see him giving that title to those 2 young kids.
Okay. So
I don't know who they're going to – whatever team they pull together – you got Bobby Roode sitting back there, and you got Shinsuke and no, you can't.
Well,
I'm going to go with another team. Another team.
But they already recorded it, Bubs. It's either one or the other. It was already recorded before Raw was even recorded. It's not life or death. It's fine. Just pick one.
No, I like to dare to be different. I'm going to go because I look like a total fucking ultramaroon. I'm going to go, even though it was recorded, I think they did something else because they can't give the title to those kids.
Okay,
they just can't.
Here's the thing. If they do decide to go that route, right, and they were teasing Rollins and Theory. So Theory going with Rollins, right? So if they do,
wait.
Hold on, let me finish. They could give Garza and Theory the the titles, and then they could do Seth Rollins and
okay, I'm reading
Theory kid.
I'm reading
that Theory kid cannot be a world he cannot be a world champion after one Monday. He just can't. He's not that. He's good, but he's not that good. He just can't do it.
He could turn on Garza and go with Rollins, and then the titles go with Rollins and
Authors of Pain come in and beat everybody to fuck up.
See, 3 days ago they're saying that.
So which was April Fool's?
Okay, and then I just read another article while you guys were talking that said it's not as serious as it sounded. So I'm just going to stick with my pick.
How can you break your back if it's not serious?
Garza and Theory win.
I'm going to say Street Profits.
Okay.
Bubs, you have to pick one or the other.
Okay.
There's no other team to pick from.
Okay, yeah. I'm going to go with but I like my creative idea. I thought that was good. Since I guess, you break your back and it's not that, bad and you can walk around and do flips and shit, I guess I'm going to have to go with the Red Solo Cup team of Street Profits, but they can't give the title to that young kid.
Yeah.
Because he fucked up that move anyway.
Yeah, he did fuck that spot up.
I still like my third team coming out of nowhere.
I can't believe that I even missed him coming up. Like, I usually know these guys before they even make it here. And then when I was
Evolve Wrestling. He wrestled some big names, and then he signed an NXT contract. If you ever watch the Evolve thing on NXT, it might be in there somewhere. Watch him, and it's the main event because he was the champion or something.
I've heard the name before, but I've never seen him wrestle before that. The next match on the card is the fatal 5-way elimination match for the SmackDown Women's title.
What a disaster this is!
It's a train wreck.
I've heard so much about this match. I've heard at one point they were talking Naomi was going to win it, and they were going to bring reunite the Funkadactyls, and Brodus Clay was going to make an appearance, but that was for the Mania show. That was the live show in the arena or in the stadium. I don't know. The person that should win it is Lacey.
Yep. I agree. I want Lacey to win it, even though I'm a big Bayley fan.
But I have a theory too. So,
but I also heard that Bayley Bayley and Banks were going to feud after this.
Yeah,
for the title.
That's where I was going. I think.
Which makes me think that either Banks is going to get it or Bayley's going to retain.
I think Banks is going to win.
What about Sasha costing Bayley the match and Lacey Evans wins?
But then, I guess they could still continue to feud, Bayley and Banks. But why are they making such a big deal about those two feuding? We've seen this a million times.
Yeah,
those two have already feuded before.
But they notice, and not just these two, they're flip flopping the heel and the face. Like a lot of the guys that were the heels last year, like Joe and Kevin Owens, they're all the good guys. Daniel Bryan, they're all the good guys now, and the heels are the guys that were the face last year. Like it's weird how they flip flopped this many people on the roster. So. But I'm on the same theory as you, Gary. I think Sasha wins it.
Yeah,
she goes baby and takes on heel Bayley with the stupid haircut.
Yeah, because she cut it.
I'll go with Lacey Evans. Just go with Lacey.
Lacey should win it, but I
agree.
I don't think they're going to do it with her.
I'll just go with her just to pick differently because. I don't like Banks and Bayley with that shitty ass Chinese bull ass haircut, and I can't get into that either.
A quick observation from what they did, the promo or whatever that they did. Tamina looks terrible. She looked like she put on a lot. She looked like she pumped out 2 or 3 kids,
and her freaking legs don't work.
and
her knees are broken. Like they don't, and she just walks awkwardly. She looks like the female Kevin Nash.
Quick, a fun fact about myself. In high school, I ran the 4x100 relay for Keystone Oaks High School with her half brother, Kane Waller, who is a big shot attorney, and he went to Harvard.
Who? Tamina's?
Yeah.
Wait, who?
Kane Waller was a kid I went to high school with, and his dad was Superfly Snuka.
No shit. Okay.
Yeah. And he was now he's like a big time attorney. He went to Harvard.
So where did Tamina go?
I picked up Superfly around the waist mom in Cleveland, in CWA in Cleveland.
Yeah.
And he drank a strawberry margarita. That's my Superfly story.
Well, it's no icy light, is it, Bob?
The next match on the card is I really like doing this with you guys, even if we can't do a show in the studio the time. We just having us do this is a nice break from the new norm of what's going on right now.
Well, we can keep everything current, and we could do like a quicker version of stuff just to keep it current. And then like the cream of the crop is going to the studio, and it's like the
pay-per-view.
Like a Monday Night Raw.
Right. This is all foreplay right here, guys. We go to the studio. It is the top of the top.
Let me go get my thong mask and talk like Bane. I'll be right back. All right. The Raw Women's title match. Shayna Baszler versus Becky Lynch. I think I got
to go with Baszler.
Yeah, I think Baszler. I think because
if they kill her momentum and steam just because it's Becky Lynch, I'm going to lose my shit.
I think she's I think she cuts a boring promo.
She's terrible.
I think the way they packaged, like they don't have the other girls with her anymore. I think the way they packaged her and they did this whole thing with Becky, I think was just stupid all the way down from the vampire thing. None of it needed to happen.
Becky's a fucking truck driver now. Like on Raw, she comes in with a truck driver, and she's just like, I mean,
let's face it, that was supposed to be her entrance for WrestleMania, and they couldn't do it, so they just threw it in there.
They're getting their money.
But I guarantee she would have came out on that son of a bitch at WrestleMania.
But they're pushing so hard for her to be Stone Cold, even to the point where they're linking them together, all the time, where they're putting them, doing promos that they did a TV show together. She stunned them on the TV show.
She's going to retain the title. She's going to retain the title because they're making Baszler look like indestructible. Like she went in that chamber and she choked everybody out. Like I never seen a display like that in any type of pay-per-view where she was so over, nobody got anything in.
See, I'll be honest with you guys. I don't really like Shayna Baszler. I can't even stand to look at her. She just weirds me out.
Better in NXT.
Boy.
But I'm going to go with Baszler because.
Do you think? But do you guys think her biting in the back of the neck was so goddamn cheesy, killed that kind of shit?
See, I don't think that was actually meant to be a vampire thing. I just think they just did it. I don't know.
Stupid.
It was stupid. So Bubs, you're going with Lynch. Todd, you're going to go with.
Yes,
I'm going to go with Baszler.
Same here.
I think they're gonna do like the fall of Hulk Hogan thing. They're gonna she's gonna fall and lose, and then she's gonna something horrific's gonna happen, and then she's gonna.
So Baszler's like Yokozuna.
Yeah.
I mean, she's just as fucking as good looking as fucking Yokozuna.
Exactly. Actually,
I mean, she looks like she got in there with a goddamn shovel.
You got that.
The thing about Baszler, they make her this badass, right? And then she talks and she sounds like my 8-year-old boy, like an 8-year-old boy.
I hate her. I hate her whole team. And I know that's Roderick Strong's wife, and Roderick Strong's my boy, but man, they can't work or lick. Shayna Baszler can work, but I can't stand looking at her. I can't stand the way she talks.
Stupid face.
Well, her friend Ronda Rousey's like playing like online gaming. That's what Ronda does now. She's in bed or on a couch playing online gaming now. Like,
well,
all right, this is Ronda Rousey.
She's
like,
made her money, but
whole,
whenever she runs out of money, she'll be back.
Vince was all pissed off because there was somebody leaked that she was at the offices, the main offices.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah,
contract. But yeah, I don't think she's involved at this juncture. I think Becky's going to have something horrific happen, like some kind of staged injury that gives her some time off, and then she crawls back from the bottom. She hits bottom. She's on the top, hits bottom, and crawls back, and then down the road, comes back and resurfaces and takes the title back from Baszler.
I will say this:
if Baszler ever won the title and was so badass, everybody would want Ronda to come back to face her. But in that match, who's going to lead? Because that could be a train wreck.
Yeah, train wreck. Neither of them are experienced enough to even do that. But
yeah,
I think it'll. I think
wreck.
I think Baszler and Lynch. It's going to be a good match. But yeah, I don't know. I think Baszler goes over.
All right, let's go on to the next one. It's the NXT Women's Title, Charlotte versus Rhea.
I'll give you my synapse of this situation is in that 3-day period, Rhea Ripley was pushed like no other. But actually, right now, like she's pushed too much, and I'm starting to fucking not like her anymore.
I'm gonna go
with Charlotte because Charlotte is the cream of the crop, and I was a Rhea Ripley fan during that a couple weeks, but I just don't like how. I just don't like it. So that's what I'm going with, Charlotte.
My whole take on this is, so Charlotte wins. What does that do for the NXT Women's Title? You're going to take top tier woman.
Sense. It makes no sense for her to take that title. And to be honest with you, Flair doesn't need to win this match. Flair does not need to win this match. She's over. She's the best thing that they have in women's wrestling. She doesn't need to prove anything. Give Rhea a rub. You know what I mean? And Flair made a live out of doing that shit.
Bianca Blair could be. Bianca Blair, I think, is way better than Rhea right now, and she's not getting anything. And
the NXT
takeover didn't have to do that.
You were so high on Rhea Ripley.
I was so hot. It was like I just saw her for the first time at the high school dance, and I wanted to date her and take her outside, kind of like that. But now I just don't want anything to do with her. Like I can't believe I turned on her. Like I just want to break up.
I love her still, and I'm going with Rhea Ripley.
And I like Charlotte. Charlotte's just the best.
I love Charlotte. Performer. I think she's one of the best wrestlers that they have, let alone just, not just even a woman. I think, I told you this before, and you guys looked at me like I was crazy. I think she's better than her old man. But
wow.
yes, she is.
It's different time periods.
I bet you Flair would tell you she's better than him.
Wrestling today wouldn't be what it is without Ric Flair.
I agree with that.
And he did it drunk every night.
But Flair was definitely a better talker, and he was a hell of a wrestler. And he put people over all the time. And I don't think Charlotte will have any problem putting Rhea Ripley over.
Yeah, and I agree with you guys' take on the NXT. She doesn't need the title, but I just think because realistically, who would beat Charlotte at the NXT is Bianca Blair.
Who is that again?
Bianca Blair.
Oh,
that's
okay.
Flavor of the week.
No,
I'm telling you, I feel like I got what I wanted off of Rhea Ripley, and now I'm going to try to hook up with Bianca Blair.
So you're saying Ripley, Gary? You're saying Ripley?
Yeah,
I'm
absolutely.
saying Charlotte. I'm going to go off the cuff again and say no contest. I don't think it ends here. I think I'm going to go no contest. I don't see them putting that belt on Charlotte, and I don't see Rhea beating her. When Charlotte was on NXT, didn't she attack somebody Was it Blair that she attacked?
It was Blair.
Yes. Okay, so there would be your no contest. Yep. Bianca Blair makes it a no contest because she interferes.
Right, and then the next time they fight, it's a triple threat.
It's a 3-way.
And then that way Charlotte can get taken out of the equation, and then they make it about Blair and Ripley more.
The next time they fight 6 months from now.
Yeah. So
true.
I'm going no contest.
Okay, so we got a no contest, we got Flair, and we got Ripley.
What day of the week?
And honestly, gentlemen, I have a thing for blondes, and I'm always going to cheer for a hot blonde chick.
Except for if it's Blanca Dia.
And she can wrestle too. It's true.
What day is that match, Gary?
That match is
Monday.
That is Sunday.
Sunday, you said?
Yeah, Sunday.
Okay. The next match is the Universal title match. It was originally scheduled to be Goldberg versus Reigns. No,
okay. So,
everyone knows Reigns is pulled out.
How do you guys feel about this? I'm completely cool. I'm fine with it.
I'm okay with it. Because in that, I respect that, that he's looking out for his health, all the cancer stuff. So, and then also for selfish reasons, I don't want to have a Reigns title reign.
Though, honestly, I'd rather have Reigns be the champion than Goldberg. I think that's a crock of shit. Yeah. There's no way Goldberg should be champion right now. There's no way Brock Lesnar should be champion right now.
No, Goldberg's
the title shifts they did goes back to the Fiend because they had the belt and the Fiend, and it's stupid. They should have had Goldberg versus Cena and Reigns versus the Fiend. I think would have made more sense. I don't know. What do you?
I think any way you chalk it up, those two matches do nothing for me.
Well, it's a shame about Roman. I mean, that you have to be health conscientious. But Goldberg's legacy from the Undertaker match in Saudi Arabia to this match, like he was good when the Brock thing, okay, but he couldn't get the Fiend up to save his life. Just end it. I know your kid fucking saw you wrestle, Goldberg, okay, and I know you could probably, yeah. And realistically, the person that probably should wrestle Goldberg, and you guys would be like, "Oh, Bubba, you're fucking crazy."
I have one too. So it might be
Matt Riddle.
Oh,
I agree. No, I agree with that. There's some heat there.
They had heat on social media, didn't they?
But that's not their idea of a big match WrestleMania card because, like I said, Riddle's not a name. Roman Reigns is a name.
He will be.
He should be.
Yeah.
But that's as close. But guys, that's as close as Matt Riddle is ever going to get to Goldberg anyway. And no offense, Matt Riddle is like his apartment's probably 6 blocks down the street, so he can wear his flip flops and fucking walk down to the aisle and kick him off, and then him and Goldberg, and then like it would be. They have to do something at this WrestleMania that's going to be like we have to be talking about.
Well, supposedly they inserted Braun into the mix, and
it's 2 years too late.
If Braun, when he was flipping ambulances over, that's the Braun I want to see beat the shit out of Goldberg, not this watered down Braun Strowman that they have now.
I don't want to see anybody beat the shit out of Goldberg. I don't even want to see Goldberg.
Yeah. Now I do have somebody that I wanted to see that I would have liked to seen fight Goldberg.
You're gonna say Jeff Hardy?
Hulk Hogan?
No. Just because of the fact that when he was a part of the company, and there is rumors of his return, there's no definite where he's going to return. I just want to see it just because of the way they packaged him, like Goldberg at one point, and Ryback as a surprise, Goldberg versus Ryback.
Oh my God!
Because I know. I'm coming way out of the left field here.
He's terrible.
But they packaged him like Goldberg at one point.
Hey, that's why we do this. Freedom of speech, man. Go for it. That's cool. Good.
He's terrible. He's terrible.
But he was like...
Just to get the opportunity to wrestle in the WWE is great, and it's God bless America, but he was god-awful. And Goldberg... is just not the way he was when I met him years ago. a month before he wrestled Hulk Hogan. I'm like, when are you going to go for the title? He's like, hey, brother. He goes, I'm wrestling Hogan for the title. And I heard it like a month before. I mean, I heard it like a month before he even told me. You know what I mean? And that mystique of Goldberg is tarnished for me. Like when he just, you know what I mean? Like, and Strowman is going to beat him. But
he has to.
But we need some kind of. We're not having any controversy or nothing crazy during this whole thing.
That's a surprise thing. I would have liked to have seen, just because they packaged him with the similarities and everything, just for a surprise factor.
So the only time I've never been a Goldberg person. I always thought he was just like, as soon as he came in, I just thought
he was a mistake.
Okay.
He was a shoot for Stone Cold, and it turned out the fans friggin' loved him, and it was like,
the only time I liked him was when he faced Brock Lesnar.
Yeah,
that was it, because I hate Brock Lesnar even more than I hate Goldberg.
Yeah.
But to be honest,
when he wrestled Hogan, that made him. But when he wrestled, Regal fucking showed him that he can't wrestle a lick, and he exposed Goldberg for what he was. If you guys ever seen that match?
Yeah, because I like good technical wrestling. I'm not like your casual fan.
Braun Strowman versus Goldberg.
No. But what I'm saying is Goldberg was never that. He was a glorified Cena where he had 5-6 moves and that was it. But that was his thing. He had like 2-second matches,
and one of them he's not even doing right.
Well, Goldberg let Strowman run around the ring and do his maneuver, like shoulder tackle him, and then get up and let him do it again. That. I don't know if Goldberg's going to let him do that, because Goldberg's going to be blown up before if he hits a locker room or hits something with his head, the dumb bastard, he'll be loopy, and then Strowman just picks him up and for the power slam, and it could be over quick. It's not going to last long.
I would rather see Reigns and Goldberg because it's spear versus spear.
Yeah.
Right. But other than that, I don't really give a shit. No. Nah. But you're right, Bubba. Strowman, it's 2 years too late. I mean, he should be. I don't even think he should have the title at this point.
They shit the bed with. I mean,
he's the big show. He's the big he's the big show. 2.0 big show.
Yeah, and they just
he'll be on Netflix.
I've heard he's hurt he's hurt himself with stuff he's done behind the scenes, behind the curtain. Strowman over the years, and that's why he is where he's in this position. When they were in the middle of pushing him, he would act like an asshole, backstage and stuff. But
watch what you say.
Do we all?
Who are you taking, guys?
Strowman.
I never thought in my wildest dreams that I would take anybody over Goldberg, but that piss poor display of him couldn't even pick up a sack of potatoes. And I've always liked Goldberg, really. But his last performances are not very good, and his legacy is tarnished.
Yeah. And
I'm Strowman. This is pretty much the
People
unanimous
always
pick
say
here.
about the Undertaker, like, hey, when is it too much? When is it too long? The Undertaker, at least when he shows up, gives you the Undertaker.
It's game time.
It's
game time.
You could tell he's a little bit slower. He's older, but he's still giving you an Undertaker quality experience when he's in the ring.
He's earned that right. He's earned that right to do that. Honestly, I think he needs to be done, the Undertaker.
Yeah.
But he's earned that right to
against the Fiend.
Yeah, I don't know if we'll see it or not. Who knows?
So Gary, you saying
probably not.
Yeah, I guess. I could care less if the whole freaking performance center blew up during this match, to be honest with you. But yeah, Strowman's fine, I guess.
Yeah.
This is the worst fucking WrestleMania card ever.
I agree.
You're right.
Ever.
I agree.
Thanks, Corona.
And then
terrible.
This is Corona could just be an excuse. I mean, how much better could it have been?
Yeah,
This is what they believed.
It was for Corona. It was terrible.
It couldn't be much better. even before the coronavirus.
No.
I'm assuming that this is the main event Sunday night, right, Gary? Drew McIntyre versus Brock Lesnar. This is the grand finale. And
if they screw this up,
Lesnar and Goldberg do not typically wrestle long matches.
Nope.
And
they better not screw this up.
Well, they got
every match on this card for 2 days. They cannot screw this up, right?
They can't, but that doesn't mean they won't.
Yeah,
right?
I know.
They can.
What
they can if they don't. If they.
Who do you think's taking this?
This match here is the most disappointing match probably ever that I've ever had to witness because and the thing is though with Drew McIntyre, we seen like him coming from the whole way, and I watched him when he was in Evolve Wrestling, then he went to TNA, and then he went to NXT, and then he went to the Raw, he went to Raw. Like I seen him go from where he's became and what he's done, and the payoff to me is just not. It's not fair. I know life ain't fair.
It's not fair.
I feel we're getting cheated. Like when he kicked fucking Brock over that thing, that place fucking blew off the roof.
Right.
Yeah.
And his wrestling, and he can talk, and he fits the persona of a champion. Like I've seen his training videos. Like I don't know where they did it. You know what I mean? And he's carrying shit up in the Scotland mountain or whatever.
Yeah, but he has the look that guys like us like from the '80s that made us fall in love with wrestling. But more Bubba than you, Gary. Right? You like the smaller, more athletic wrestling.
But Drew can wrestle though. Drew can wrestle in NXT. He could wrestle with the guys that were smaller.
Yeah.
And he could wrestle. And in my eyes, he's going to win. But the payoff, it's disappointing.
He's getting cheated out of his WrestleMania moment for sure.
Yeah. How could you win a fucking title and do all this and from the rafters and the confetti falling down, and you have to play? You have to be so. How do you get emotional, and how do you do that when you got to feed off the crowd and
that's a
feel and
part of
bask
that
in the cheers
too. Having that experience and winning the title and having your moment, and it just sucks for Drew the way that things happen.
I just hope when he takes the title, he can defend it for a longer period of time due to this situation that just happened.
Right.
And showcase his talents against all comers for a lot longer than 2 months or a short title reign. They gave that title reign to that Jinder Mahal. I'm going, Jesus God Almighty! Like he needs a longer, due to the fact he needs time to shine because his WrestleMania moment. It's like premature ejaculation. That's how it is. I'm sorry I'm coming up with the innuendos but it's like we're getting screwed because of the virus and the payoff is not there. And Drew deservingly worked his way and deserves to win the title, but the payoff is not the payoff. And I'll show you.
Okay, so first I'm going to answer your question, Todd. I think the smaller guys were a little more relatable for me. I think, eventually a future podcast will get to this, but like the Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart Iron Man match was like my favorite match ever. But I also really love guys like the British Bulldog, who was a bigger guy. I loved Vader. I thought Vader was awesome for a big man. I thought he was. I thought the matches with him and Michaels were great. I do like bigger guys. I loved. I like bigger guys, but I like bigger guys that can work. And I think McIntyre can work.
Like me.
I love you. I love you. But here's the thing. Like McIntyre did not, Vince giving him that little rub, his first run did not do him any justice at all. And at that point, he was still a little bit small. Because he just didn't look proportioned for a big guy like that. Yeah, right. For a big guy like that,
player with a wig on.
Yes, exactly. But now he's filled out a lot, and he's had a hell of a journey after being cut from WWE, and then going through all that stuff, like Bubba said, and then now he's back. I think he deserves it. I feel bad for him that this virus completely screwed him. But let's face it, at the end of the day, I hope he wins. I want him to win, and he's going to be making more money than any of us, so I can't really feel that bad. So I'm going to go with McIntyre.
So we all three McIntyre, right?
Yeah.
That's the card right there. Do you think anything surprise could happen or any?
I hope so. We need something.
What about a 24/7 title thing? It's back on.
That's the funniest thing. That's the funniest thing that they have right now.
They dropped the ball with it, just like they did the Fiend.
So you guys like that? Well, you like that title?
I think it brings entertainment value to. Now they've changed it. The original concept was great, and then they changed it, and they the more they used it, the worse it got. But now they're kind of doing like vignettes and stuff like that. Now with
who's the champion now?
Truth got it back.
Truth to the champion.
That one
because when the guy was jogging.
Yeah.
So what are the odds that Grunk's going to be the 24/7 champion by the end of WrestleMania?
It could be very high.
Oh my God! I didn't even think of that. Oh,
it wouldn't surprise me at all.
Comes in and hits him with a chair, and he becomes.
That'll be on ESPN. That'll be on ESPN.
Yep.
Oh, that would piss me off more than the whole card itself, probably. I never even thought of that. I didn't even think of that.
I heard at one point one of the plans were for Sting to take the 24/7 title.
Sting the singer?
No. Unfortunately, no.
I can't. But that was, you know what? That was your controversy right there, Mav. Gronk winning a WWE championship, hosting the WWE weekend, and it'll probably happen Sunday.
Well, it would have been even more funny if Mojo Rawley was the champion right now.
Maybe
and then
Mojo was in that 24/7 picture. He was the 24/7 champion at the point.
Right.
So maybe Mojo takes it and then Saturday, and then Gronk takes it Sunday.
Yeah.
And sparks a feud with them.
Yeah.
And then who beats Gronk since they were in Florida? Like Brady comes over and is like, "Hey Gronk, how you doing?" And then
Tampa jersey.
Unreal.
He has them a Tampa Bay jersey. You're either with me or against me.
Against me.
Yep.
You're in it for life, Gronk. Yeah. This is the worst. Well, this is the worst WrestleMania, and I can't even remember the worst, because every WrestleMania when I was a kid, because I've seen every single one.
Always a big draw, and there really isn't a big. There isn't that one thing that says, "Man, I really want to see WrestleMania." I'm going into tomorrow like it's a Raw. Like if I watch it, I watch it. If I don't, well.
I'm gonna watch it. But I'm missing the Hall of Fame ceremony because I love the stories.
And the British Bulldog was finally getting in. British Bulldog was finally getting. Look what happened.
Now, will they revisit that and do a?
I heard they were going to do it on Raw. I heard that, but that was like maybe 3 weeks ago. They were anticipating. Yeah, they were going to do the whole Hall of Fame ceremony stuff on Raw.
And one of the good things, though, I think too, without. The NWO doesn't need to be involved. So I'm okay with them not being there.
Yeah, same.
And I just think at this point, it's like in the same scenario as Goldberg. Let them be what they were. Don't try to force them down your throat. And just quick pops, just have them come in. They don't need to physically be involved.
Right.
I think that's going to wrap our WrestleMania pre-show up. Our predictions.
What a pre-show it was. This is hopefully never ever happens again.
Well, like I said, we could utilize this platform for shorter things.
Oh, yeah.
Like, but for WrestleMania, I never anticipated for it to be this, like, I'm just so depressed about it. Like, I was looking so forward to watching WrestleMania and the Triple B Bar and Grill, baby.
I know we were going to have it right here. Like,
I know, and then we were
I lost out on the XFL Championship. I had a thing. My bar event calendar got scratched. I mean, it sucks. But I wanted my first. I never had a WrestleMania party. I was like, oh man. Well, next year, God damn it, we're gonna do it here. I mean, during the apocalypse with the zombies, we'll have crossbows and shit, and then whatever. But it'll be however we do it.
I think we have to do a little disclaimer here too, because people think the Triple B Bar and Grill is an actual brick and mortar bar and grill. This is a and it looks like, I mean, you just built this in your house. So it's for your personal use. It's not a business.
Yes.
I
got people call.
People are going on
like Facebook
to me. Hey, Bubba,
can I stop over? No.
What's the
invite only?
What's the special?
Captain Morgan's for $1 is not happening here at the bar, and I don't have ladies dancing because I live with my significant other. Those days were over. If I was single, I'd have poles.
Local people are trying to order sandwiches on DoorDash to get.
Me and Tammy were watching a pay-per-view, and I've actually had people like, "Hey, Bumba, can I?" No. First off, I gotta like you to invite you. That's a T-shirt slogan right there. I gotta like you to invite you.
You should have that Triple B Bar and Grill. I gotta like you to invite you.
All right, we'll put it in the radio store.
That'd be amazing.
I'll wear it to work, and then that'll make everybody mad. Because I told him, I said, "Hey, look, I have to have a coworker party because I can't have my friend's party because my friends are crazy, and I don't need shit busted up, and I got pictures. I don't need pictures smashed. I don't need someone grabbing my boots and smacking somebody in the head because different personalities kind of clash. You never know. I don't know. But I want you guys here so we could do something and watch it on the TV and
we'll do a podcast from there. That's all.
Oh yeah. We can drink and have whatever. And
so me and Gary can hop in the car and travel to you.
Yep.
Well, we can try a comedy show, right? I could get an acoustic guitar playing and whatever.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Well, guys,
all I know is I want to go to the studio because and this is going to be good because we can actually utilize this because a lot of wrestling, hopefully, like if there wasn't coronavirus, we could do this all the time and everything would be caught up.
Right.
You know what would be cool, guys? If we did one match. I'm not saying it has to be for WrestleMania. It would be cool, but I'm not saying we have to. If we did one match and did our own commentary during it.
Oh, that's something we could do that. Find old matches, like really bad matches. Like we should find them on YouTube somewhere, like really shitty matches.
That Colt Cabana does that actually.
Give them like fake names.
Hopefully we get invited to like independent wrestling shows because we could set up shop and we can do interviews and I think they're just I don't know. I think they're probably like, oh my God, what would Bubba say? We're gonna have to harness his mouth because we never know.
Nobody's really doing it. Like we have the idea and we've been throwing it out there, but people are afraid of what they don't know.
They're afraid.
And so should we just invite ourselves
to give us? Why don't we
just show up? We just show up and then what are you guys doing here? Hey, we bought a ticket, but we're doing a podcast live. You want interviewed?
Yins want to come out? No. Yeah. We got Icy Light.
I challenge any independent wrestling company in Pennsylvania on this side of the state in Western Pennsylvania. Why don't you get Todd a call, contact the offices, and we'll be more than happy. Give us some time so we can all take off work because, yes, people, we do have to work for a living because, I wish we were doing this for a living and all three of us was making big money and I would smoke a big stogie.
We're not there yet.
Yeah. We're working on it.
Let's get.
You're doing your comedy stuff. It's like, Ronnie Dangerfield stuff.
Let's get past this, and we're actually talking. We have some Hulu connections, and we're talking about evolving the quarantine comedy series into I just was on meetings about concepts for it, so something different, something like the old Def Comedy.
Congratulations.
Jam, the old Def Comedy Jam and Comic View. But I have some with the hosts. I have some ideas and stuff like that, and we're gonna put like YouTube type content mixed in with stand up and the hosts. There's a lot of cool ideas, and hopefully it comes to light. If not, I mean, it's just it's a learning experience, and it's fun to do. And
you guys need to get in there with the comedy festival.
Yeah,
like, it's right up. It's right up. Like
we had
in Jamestown.
Idiot Radio Fest. We had one a couple years ago. It was like 12 comics. It was pretty fun. So, and God bless my fiance Lisa, who hopefully, fingers crossed, August we make it to the wedding. Like the wedding is going to be, we're still going to have it. Right. I got to get back on track. I put on 6 pounds, so I got to get back on track.
Sauna suit, brother. That's what I did, and it messed me up. This coronavirus messed me up. I stressed eat. I ate a whole medium pizza in 3 minutes last week.
Yeah.
Boom. Destroyed.
That's awesome.
It's terrible. And I work out and stuff. I've got some dumbbells and stuff. I gotta watch Rocky. I gotta watch Rocky 4. Like I gotta do Russian type stuff. Maybe cut some trees out in my yard. I don't know what I gotta do. Like Tammy's like, baby, just shut your mouth. There's more important things to worry about because you can't go to the gym. I'm like, well, pretty much I can't get my comic books either, Tammy. So I don't know what we're going to do.
Also,
I know.
No, I'm just kidding. On that note, guys, stay safe.
You too.
We're going to do this.
I miss you guys.
Yeah, we're going to get together.
I miss you guys too.
I think maybe next show we do a virtual beer. We'll all have a beer while we do the show. And
some of us were one step ahead of you, but
we'll recap.
I had an Iron City.
Yeah, I have my turn. We'll recap Mania, and then we'll talk about the Dark Side of the Ring stuff, and maybe we'll get other people involved and try to go live calls and that. But enjoy Mania. We'll be chatting live if you see us on the live broadcast. Sorry that we're taped. We don't like to do it, but we're just like WWE and AEW. We're evolving. And we appreciate all the support, like, subscribe, share. And we're going to start utilizing the other platforms more, like Instagram and YouTube and things like that. So on behalf of myself, super producer Gary DeBar, and the big man, Triple B, Bad Bubba Brewer, it's the Triple B.
Be safe, people.
Heavyweight podcast saying, see you later.
Happy WrestleMania.
All right, guys.
Yeah, happy WrestleMania.
See you next time.